On this project, we're going to make an activity toy for your bullies. This is we're going to make end caps on this, and we're going to fill them with dog treats. And what it does, it keeps them active and their minds sharp on playing with toys and giving them something to do so they're not bored. We'll get to assembling this later. This is going to be part of our activity toy that we're making for the bullies. Get them a nice treat that has a real good scent to it and that they like. Today on the assembly of the activity toy for your bully, we're going to be using a saw, a tape measure, a marker, 2 end caps, 1.5 inches, a step drill, sandpaper, and a drill motor. I have 2 pieces. The black is 1.5 inches and the white is 1.25 inches. I just brought those out so you can see the difference in size. Your dog may only need 1.25 inches versus 1.5 inches, depending on what you feel your dog needs and what you feel comfortable with. And these will be the items that we'll be using to assemble this activity toy. Okay, to start this project, you're going to get your tape measure out, and you're going to come over from the end about 3 inches. Going to measure over 3 inches, make our mark, and the overall length will probably be roughly 10 inches. That's going to be our cut mark where we cut the piece off. Okay, and this is going to be our activity toy. So we marked our 3 inches off, and this is where we're going to drill our first hole. I also want to say, when using power tools, always be cautious and use all the proper safety equipment, glasses and safety glasses and so forth, and make sure you got a good serve for them. I would also recommend, if you got a vise, use a vise. What you're going to do is you're going to get this treat here that they like, that we've selected because it has such a real strong odor and the dogs really love it. So we want to make sure that that's going to fit through that hole. Right there, we're still too small, so we got to step down a little bit more so that this treat will roll out when they're playing with it. The treat is approximately about 1/2 inch round, so we're going to probably have like maybe a 5/8 hole. And that's a perfect hole right there. This hole should be more than sufficient for that treat to roll out when they play with us. Now we're going to cut the piece. We have our mark here, 10 inch. This sandpaper is going to help take off that rough edge so that cap will slide off and on easily. So we want to take off that burr from where we cut. We got that nice and clean. Make sure we have nothing in the inside. Nice and clean. Our hole. We're going to put an end cap on here. This one we want to go nice and firm. This other one we're going to be able to pull it off and on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our treats and we're going to put them in the tube. We've got about halfway filled with treats now. We're going to put this other end cap on here snugly, but we won't be able to pull it off. If you ever have trouble getting it off, get yourself a little something like this and just knock it down like this and it'll come right off. So now we got our toy set up. We got our little treat thing. See the treats fall out? So when he plays with this, he's going to keep him from getting bored, and he's going to have something to do, and he's going to enjoy it, and he's going to try to get these treats, and it'll keep him busy for a while. I do recommend that you don't leave this with your dog, for your animals by themselves. For the fact of the matter is that if they're strong enough, they may be able to break this PVC pipe, and you don't want them to swallow any of the sharp, charred edges of the pipe. So I do say that you do this with caution. Always be under supervision, no matter what they are. No matter what toy you're playing with your animals, I always recommend supervision. And I also recommend that you don't leave it with two animals. This is only playing with one animal at a time, because two animals, it becomes a game and they may get accelerated and excited, and then all of a sudden you're going to have a fight on your hands with the dog. So again, it's a little toy. Let's see how good it works. And in the next clip, hopefully we'll show them playing with it and getting the treats. Thank you. One more quick note. This was 1.5 inches, and it depends on the size of your dog, what you feel comfortable with. A lot of you probably have to go no bigger than 1.25 inches, which I probably recommend more than 1.5 inches. It's a little more sturdier, it's a little more stronger, and I think it's going to be more than sufficient for your dogs to play with. And depending, again, on the size of your dogs, you can go all the way down to 1 inch, 3/4 inch if you have a small dog. But the thing is that you have to get a smaller treat and make sure that the treat goes through the hole. So that's the tip on making an activity toy for your dogs. So there you have it. Porky enjoying his activity toy. And again, like I say, you use those treats that have a real strong aroma. The dogs really enjoy it. It keeps them busy. And again, hopefully this tip helps you out. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next show.